the injury crisis at Manchester United is slowly creeping back in. And I know a lot of you have got PTSD from last season, so you don't want to see any injuries or hear about injuries. Like injuries, we were fed and we are full of injuries. We don't want to hear anything about injuries anymore. Like it is done. Now, unfortunately for us, that's just how life is. And for most of us, we actually saw our players pick up these injuries. And it's rather unfortunate, but we're going to be talking about this. So Lenny Yoro, we had been trying to know how long his injury was going to last, and it has been confirmed that his injury is going to last about 3 months. Yoro is out for 3 months. Our 18-year-old superstar is out for 3 months. Let that sink in. He was our sort of galactical signing, defensive signing. He is the guy that we knew was going to start. We had a feeling and he looked good. And now he's injured. He's out. He's out. And then to make matters worse, we've got Rasmus Højlund, who has picked up another injury, and he's out for 3 weeks. I don't know what you guys have to say about this, but this is frustrating. It is frustrating because as somebody that has played the game before, like there's somebody that an ex-player, I understand. I sympathize. I understand what these players are going through. But at the same time, it's like there's an issue. There is an issue. Take, for example, Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund, I need to actually do a deep dive and actually remember how many injuries this guy picked up last season. But if I'm not mistaken, he picked up about 3 or 4 significant injuries, or injuries that kept him out or sidelined for a number of time. And he's back at it again in the preseason. I mean, obviously it wasn't his fault that he picked up his injury, but there is a common theme that is going on here. I don't know if you guys are picking up where I'm going with this. I'm feeling some Martial-esque kind of situation going on here. Martial, our injury-prone diva that was at Manchester United for so long, and we just never couldn't understand how he keeps picking up injuries. 1 minute he plays, next minute he's out for like 3-4 months, then he comes back, he's gone, he's back, he's gone. When he's back and when he has a long, prolonged period of time when he's fit, he does the business, he scores the goal. We are back at that situation again with Rasmus Højlund. Now, I honestly don't know how Ineos, what Manchester United are planning on doing with this situation, but that idea of bringing in another striker, because remember, Ivan Toney was a striker that was put out there, and we were looking into getting another striker. In fact, we're looking into getting 2 strikers this summer. So I think that plan of trying to bring in another striker should be a go right now. I think it should be full throttle right now, because right now we cannot waste time. We can't take. He's out for 3 weeks. The Premier League starts in 2.5 weeks. We need this guy fit to play. He's our number 9. Is he going to start? I doubt it. Xerxes is back in Carrington. He started his training, but he hasn't gotten that match fitness and that gel with the team. So it's gonna take some time. So we need a striker right here, right now, to actually lead the line. I don't trust Rashford. I don't trust Sancho. I don't trust these other players who are not strikers to do the job. Because for the strikers themselves, they actually find it difficult to do their job as strikers. So I don't want us to bring in another player who is a winger, or is an attacking what, or is a this, or is an inverted this, to come in. We need a striker. We're no more trying to bring in players and patch them and that ship has sailed, and we're not doing that anymore. So I'm worried. I'm really, really worried about Rasmus Højlund. I don't know what it means for the future, because now I'm slowly starting not to trust him. I know what he's capable of. I know the kind of player that he could be. You know, we've had conversations about him. We know that he's got a very his conversion rate is very, very high. And We know what he can bring. We believe in him. But if he's going to keep on picking up injuries as much as he's doing right now, then what is his use at Manchester United? One of the things that this is completely off topic, but one of the reasons why we respected Harry Maguire at the time, a specific time, was because he was never injured. Bruno Fernandes last season, he showed you guys that without him in this team, we can't really move forward. And that's when he's injured. With Rasmus Højlund, whether he plays or not, it's like, we'll still score, we'll still find a way, it's not like it's a need. And that is a problem. It's not like, remember when Casemiro was injured and we were lacking him and missing him? Remember when Licha and Varane were missing in our starting lineup? Our performances dipped and all that stuff. This is what I'm talking about. Now Rasmus Højlund, albeit he's our striker, you see where I'm going with this? I don't wanna go in too much on Rasmus Højlund right now because he's young and he's for the future and the club have said he's unsellable and blah blah. But I think they might have spoken too soon. I don't trust Rasmus Højlund's injury record. I don't. I mean, when we bought him from Atalanta, I knew that from the back of my mind. I knew it. We bought him injured, or he was injured, or he was recovering, or something like that. You can imagine. But we thought that our medical staff or people are going to sort this thing out and fix it. I don't know if they can do that. But right here, right now, I am slowly but surely not trusting Rasmus Højlund's injury situation, which ultimately makes me not trust the player himself, because we need this player. We need him there. There's Rasmus Højlund was brought there to do a very big task at Manchester United. If he's not there to do that job, what is the point of having him? I like him, I want to keep him, but we need to sort out this injury issue, because now it is becoming more and more and more. We need to tackle it. We need to figure it out, what's going on. This guy just came back from holiday. He played in the Euros. He was He chilled, came back, went back to training. They didn't find anything. Then he goes and plays in that pitch. Boom, injured. Lenny Yoro, 3 months. Now, I didn't finish off the game, but I remember Rashford came out because they timbered him. They ganted him. And then now Antony's out again, injured as well. Antony, I understand, him at this current moment in Manchester United, whether he's there or not doesn't really move mountains for anybody. Doesn't really affect Manchester United, which is crazy to say this because we bought this player for 80 mil. But his presence really doesn't really make a difference, starting from last season. So with Antony injured, it's almost as if he's just continuing, he's just prolonging his time outside the starting lineup or the first team. I don't really consider this injury for Antony as a big deal. I don't think we're going to miss him that much, because when you look at what we have, Ahmad, Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho, these are players coming in. 4. Antony is an extra. So if his injury is going to take long, I think I don't think we need to panic in those situations. But the Lenny Yoro and the Rasmus Højlund situation, that is a problem, especially Lenny Yoro. Now, I don't know what this means now for Lenny Yoro, what it means for our defensive issues. Are we now increasing our pursuit for ligt? Are we now trying another background situation with Brandt White? What's the deal? Because Brandt White has told the Toffees that, listen, you guys are not going to match Manchester United, what Manchester United were giving me, I'm not signing. That is a big statement. That is a statement of a kid saying, listen, it's almost like he's saying, if you're not going to match Manchester United's offer, I'm not coming to you, and I want to go to Manchester United. So in that sense, and this kid, we kind of have it on lock, but we don't. Because we haven't yet finished the situation with Everton. De Ligt is right there, just waiting for Manchester United to pull the plug. They're just waiting. I don't know. This Lenny Yoro situation, if it has not awoken the Ineos hierarchy and make them look and jump back into the transfer window and look for a defender, then I don't know. Because we need that right now. We need that. This story of Lindelof's thing. Yes, Lindelof and Maguire, they played very, very well yesterday. We've got Evans. These guys, they did the business. But we are trying to sell these players so we can bring players in. So how are we supposed to progress if we're not doing what we need to do? How? It makes absolutely no sense that we are not trying to make moves for Lindelof. Yeah, there are rumors, but we don't know the extent. We were still waiting to hear, and here we go, that Lindelof is gone or Harry Maguire is gone. I know Harry Maguire is not gone. I'm just giving you an example. Please don't bite my head off. But I'm giving you an example. So this situation is really, really frustrating. It really, really is. And I don't know what to do with myself. I really don't. We need another defender. That we need. Come high waters or whatever, we need another defender. Like, if we go into this season without another defender, this is going to be a disaster. Because already we don't trust the butcher alone, because he can pick up an injury. When he does, then we have to fall back to Evans, freaking Lindelof or Maguire if these players don't go. And if we don't have any of those guys, Casemiro has to now fill in there. Do you understand where I'm going with this? If we don't get these players, if we don't get our defenders, we're gonna revert back to doing the nonsense that we're doing, putting players where you saw Antony last season when he was doing this, because he was playing left back. He don't want to play left back. He was playing left back because why? We had an injury fucking crisis so big that we needed to put a winger at full back. That's how big it was. Let that sink in. So can we just stick to the plan? Ineos wanted to get 2 centre-backs. Get him in. Mazraoui, we're waiting. And Wan-Bissaka is still on the West Ham have stepped up the pursuit. Anytime Wan-Bissaka will be going. I don't know if it's going to be after Liverpool. I don't know if it's going to be before the season. I don't know. But we are getting Mazraoui in. But we need to get ligt in as well. We need that right-footed centre-back there, because Lich will be... Like, listen. If Yoro is injured, what's the next best thing? We need another caliber of defender that's there. We've already lost Varane. Lindelof, Maguire, we're not too sure about these two. And I honestly do not want to see these two anywhere near the first team. I want to see them coming in and helping, but I want to see them as a main staple. Like, I don't want to see their names in the starting line. Nah. Their chances come and gone. So if we're going to do that, Evans, again, he's also another player that I do not want to see him in the starting lineup unless it is extreme circumstances. These 3 players, they should be nowhere near that starting 11, which leaves the butcher by himself. Right? The butcher. He's the only player that's there that you could say is in the starting lineup. Yoro's injured. Yoro, Butcher was supposed to be starting. So we need another defender that's going to be in the same caliber as these two. De Ligt, White, Ignacio from Sporting. We need a defender. They need to get a defender in. I'm sorry, we need it. Last season was a disaster. And I'm not about to go through what we went through last season. No ways. Having to explain myself, having to explain to people that, listen, look at the injury crisis that we're having. Why are you being so daft? Why are you not trying to think for yourself? You know better than anyone that if you were missing, for example, if you're missing Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Diaz, or whatever, your team is done. Your team is done. If you're missing Saka, Odegaard, and Havertz, or Gabriel, or Kimoa, or whatever that guy, if you're missing those main players in your team, you will not do the things that you want to do. That is a fact. It is a fact. But a fact that for some reason, people last season didn't want to hear it when it came to Manchester United. Nobody was having it. until we actually had to provide real evidence, proof, the numbers that we had 45 injuries, mixed injuries, 30 different defensive pairings. We had to come out and say it. People were seeing it but ignoring it. So I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to have to explain to these daft people that, listen, can't you see what's going on? We lost Yoro. We didn't have the money to bring in another player. This is the situation that we're in. I don't want to hear, hey, Manchester, you had the opportunity, new Ineos, this, because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. If we don't do enough in this transfer window, it's going to come back and bite us. The media is going to come back and swallow us. They're going to be like, we spent so much, Ineos this, Manchester this. I'm not trying to hear all of that. And to make matters worse, I think in the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks of the league, we will be playing Liverpool. I watched Liverpool play yesterday against Arsenal. They are not looking too bad. Slot football is looking good. Now, obviously, it's going to be a different dynamic because we're going to be in the Premier League and it's not going to be in those shit pitches there in America. Man, America needs to fix the situation with their stadiums, right? Like, I don't get it. You're about to host the World Cup and the quality of the pitches is shit. It's shit. Players are picking up injuries because of bloody America. Hey, America, the land of the free. Nothing. They can't fix pitches. Our players are getting injured. The season is starting. What? America, the country that thinks it's the only country in the world. You can't even provide proper pitches for these players. I'm fed up. I'm annoyed. I'm on the edge because this was supposed to be a busy week. This is supposed to be Manchester United moment. But for some reason, it seems like I'm getting the sense that we might be sent back into the past, back into last season, into that last season bubble, where everything is scary, where you just don't know what's going to happen, whether we're going to get the player, or whether this player is going to leave, whether this guy is going to do this. Like, we are now in that period, and that is frustrating me. It's frustrating. It is fucking frustrating, and I don't even know what to do with myself because we are trying to get it right. We are trying to get it right. I don't want to start this Premier League season on the back foot. No. Like, do you understand? The pitchforks are already out for Manchester United, even for the gaffer. Like, they are like this right now. Like, they're just waiting. They're just waiting. Once witness that they are launching, they're waiting. And Eric Ten Hag, I won't lie to you, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart with love and everything. But if we have a bad start to the season, he is not lasting. That's scary because the way things are looking right now, we are looking good. We are looking good. The football that Manchester United is playing right now is good. Yes, it's the preseason. And yes, we cannot take... preseason is a very tricky... It's a techie area. Because 1 minute, you can't take the game seriously because it's preseason. And then another minute, you have to kind of like take it seriously because if you're watching the progression of your players, it gives you an idea of what to expect. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like you can't take the result very seriously because it's like, that was preseason. You never know. Maybe his mind wasn't really at elite mode yet. It was still in preseason mode. Maybe he wasn't giving his all. He wasn't 100%. There are a lot of excuses that come with preseason. But so far, what I'm seeing, Manchester United, we were playing football. I enjoyed it. Ahmad Diallo. That machina is... I hope people are ready for him. I hope the Premier League is ready for it. I hope the right backs and these full backs are ready. Because Amad Diallo is going to have one hell of a season. God forbid something happens, but my God, the boy is looking crisp. The boy is looking. Oh my God, Ahmad. Oh my God, Ahmad is looking good. He's doing everything we want out, man. Yo, yesterday, the cutting, the shooting, it's amazing. It's amazing. He is really, really looking good. And, at this moment, you know what's funny? If Ahmad benches or doesn't start in a Premier League game, people will want certain people's heads out. I'm telling you, he's looking that good. Ahmad Diallo. He was terrorizing that right side yesterday. It was unbelievable. And him cutting in and, the way he's able to control his speed, cut in, look for the pass. His decision making is elite. Ahmad. I'm looking forward to seeing Ahmad this season. And you know what? I'm actually this might just sound weird in the sense that I'm about to say something that could bite me in the long run. But I think Ahmad is going to have double digits next season in the Premier League. If he's playing, if he's a main staple for Manchester United, that boy is getting double digits. He's definitely getting double digits. His loan spells to Rangers and Sunderland and staying in the Championship were excellent because he is playing in the same level and he is looking good. Casemiro. I know a lot of people have been shitting on Casemiro. Yesterday. Casemiro was nasty. He's passing. He was on it. And Casemiro is a very different kind of player. You need to understand it. And I think, I don't know if I'm the only one that has seen this, but since he arrived at Manchester United, Casemiro, even when he was at Real Madrid, I remember those times when I used to watch Real Madrid. I used to watch when Casemiro was playing, if he was not on the pitch, I would wonder what was going on then. I'll figure out and realize that, no, boy is injured and this. But Casemiro is the kind of player that needs game time to get his engine running. He needs to play. So if you bench him, then you're keeping him stagnant for a very, very long time. And with the quality that he possesses, my God, it's almost blasphemy to bench Casemiro. It is. Now, I know I've said two statements. I know in the beginning, I fell for what everybody is saying. That listen, we need to get rid of Casemiro. But I've always said personally, I would like to keep Casemiro at Manchester United. Now, I understood why we needed to get rid of Casemiro. He's on a huge wage bill, 300,000 a week. We bought him for, like getting rid of Casemiro benefits Manchester United financially on so many levels because you cut the wage bill down, it's funds will be freed up, and then you can now figure out how you can do what you want to do with that money. But again, on the footballing sense, if we get rid of Casemiro, if we're not going to bring in anybody to come in and help stabilize, then it's a loss. Casemiro is like Cristiano Ronaldo in the sense that the experience and the elite mentality will never die. And having him in the team is always a plus. You look at yesterday's game, nothing is different about the way Casemiro has been playing. Casemiro played like this last season. And when I say last season, I mean the passing. Because people are not immediately when I say he played like this last season, people are going back into the misplaced passes. People are going back into him being beaten for pace. No. He uses this. Casemiro is one of the most advanced, he puts a lot of forward passes. He's always looking forward, trying to go forward. And that is always that has always been Casemiro. So yesterday's game, a couple of missed passes there and there. But you look at the way he's playing. He stands out because he stands out like a sore thumb because he's doing things relaxed. Like he looks like he's on another realm than everybody else. His passing was just immaculate. His passing was just bah, it was ridiculous. No, that's not. No, I don't want to talk about him alone. Sancho looked very, very good. He looked. Yeah, Sancho. Sancho. I'm giving him a chance, man. I'm gonna cut him some slack, and I'm giving him a chance. I really am, in the sense that, I was a disciplined player. I grew up in hierarchy. I grew up with disciplinarians. So for me, I don't. It's all about just getting the work done. You know what I mean? Look down, work hard, and work. Your boss criticizes you, you take it. Your gaffer, your manager says something about you, you take it like a man. And you don't let it affect you. Now, and you just keep on training and training and training and training. Now, I don't know what's really going on behind closed doors with Sancho, but for some reason I feel like he's just working hard. And it showed yesterday. He was looking good. He played very, very well, carrying the ball. Yes, we're playing Betis. I don't know why Eric Ten Hag made the Real Betis game a must-watch. Actually, I do know why, because Betis played very good football. They just didn't bring it yesterday. And the Betis that Eric Ten Hag was hoping didn't appear yesterday because we smacked them up. I don't think Isco was there. I forgot. Anyway, I didn't see the second half, so I didn't. No, there were players. That's not the Betis, the football, unless it is. And if it is, then wow, well done to us because we absolutely played those guys off the park. I mean, not absolutely, but we did. We dominated that game, and it was beautiful to watch. So in that sense, man, I'm gonna cut Sanchez some slack. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up leaving at the end of the day, going somewhere, be it to PSG or I don't know. I won't be shocked, I won't be hurt, but I'm happy to see him put last season behind him and just grind. Seeing him celebrate with the goals, with everybody, and not looking like he's out of place. I like that. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that he's back in the unit. Saw some pictures, he's back with his boy Rashford. It's all good. Everything is lovey-dovey, and I'm happy. I'm happy. My boys are happy. I'm happy. My boys do their thing. I'm happy. So, with that being said, the Sancho situation, I'm gonna cut him some slack in that sense. But everybody else, Rashford was okay. He was looking. With Rashford, I expect so much. So please, whenever I play down Rashford, whatever Rashford does, just know that I expect more from Marcus Rashford, and it's never going to change. I'm sorry. If he's going to have a stellar season, if he's going to be doing things the right way, or doing the good things, I'm going to praise him. I'm going to sing his name. I'm going to be like, Rashford, Rashford, Rashford. But I'm no more like turning a blind eye to his performances and saying, nah, give him time. This is just the beginning of the season. That shit is gone. That you've had your moments to have those excuses before you. Now you're a man. You need to take things like a man. Eriksen was looking good. Eriksen surprisingly is looking very sharp. It's like what? And one Bissaka, Harry Amas. Oh my God. Another stellar performance from that youngster again. But I know a lot of people are going to shit on him. I don't know if they are going to, but I don't really blame him. Listen, that guy is a youngster. He's a youngster. That was it the second goal or their equalizer? The one where it came from his side and he could have followed through with the defender, but he didn't, and then the defender shot, he got blocked, and then it came back, and then he left the player. That, for me, I'm not even going to go too much on him, because what he offers Manchester United, he's for the future. I think they are going to be looking at him and being like, yo, You want to be a certain fullback, you need to be like Harry Amas. That boy is he played very well, but he had a part to play in one of the goals that we conceded yesterday. He was kind of sleeping, you know. But that's just part of being a youngster. I hope they didn't go in too much on him. But yeah, man, yesterday's game overall, right up until what I watched, I saw some beautiful football. Amad Diallo's goal it was a rocket, you know. And this boy, you see the interview that he had, and he's like, "Listen, man, I want to stay at Manchester United for my whole life." He's happy the way he handled the journalists. You know, even with Pastor. I had a conversation with Pastor D, and he mentioned that, "Hey, bro, did you see how I liked how Amad Diallo carried himself during the interview? How these journalists were trying to ask him tricky questions, and he was able to answer them professionally." And I was like, "Yeah, I agree, because I really enjoyed his interview. He's all smiles, he's happy. I like players that are happy. I like players that want to give, and like Ahmad is really, really, he's winning the fans, he's winning me more and more. He's now coming into that Bruno, because Bruno for me is an untouchable. Don't come to me and start talking nonsense about Bruno. I'll eat you, bite your head off, I'll combust. You know, you don't talk about Bruno Fernandes. No, not on my watch. So Amad Diallo is slowly getting into that category. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is the update for today. I hope you enjoyed the content that we had today. There's so much going on. What do you guys think? Lenny Yoro, injury. Rasmus Højlund, injury. Rashford, injury. Antony, injury. Are we going back? Is the curse of 2023-2024 back in 2024-2025? Is that curse of the injury back? Like what? Yo, and if it's so, Ineos, are you guys paying attention? Are you guys strategizing? Because we need depth. We need depth. And if you guys are not going to, let's just say from now up until the end of the transfer window, you plan on bringing in 3 players, right? Let's just say you're planning on bringing 4, right? If you can bring 4, or if you can bring 2 or 1, and promise us that in the winter, in January transfer window, that you guys are going to bring somebody else in to bolster, or that you're trying to find, please, I think that will make sense. But just keeping quiet and just letting us having to deal with it. Because Manchester United, as much as we are an academy club that takes pride in producing this thing, we have a little bit of we don't trust the youngsters. And when I say we don't trust them, it might just sound like a big statement, because we pride ourselves in giving opportunities to academy graduates. I mean it in the sense that we look at a kid at a certain age and be like, nah, he's 18. Oh, he's this age. He can't make it into the first team. Yet, you look at, for example, Rico Williams. He's somebody that I was thinking about. And the reason I was thinking about Rico Williams is because I was thinking about Harry Amas. And this also goes back to the time when Greenwood was coming through. Greenwood wasn't playing that time during Ole's time. I feel was because he's a kid. He's from the academy. But when he steps on the pitch, the things that he does don't suggest that he's an academy or he deserves to be labeled as an academy. And that's where I'm at. That's what I say. That's what I mean when I say with Manchester United we don't give trust to these kids. Because all these defensive issues and the dilemmas and midfield and what, like, players that were trying to get in, like, we wouldn't have this issue if we just boosted a lot of the academy kids that are coming in. You see, like, what's his name? Was it Bennett yesterday? Or was it Will Fish that came on? I think it was Bennett. He's a defender that has been out, gone on loan. He's back. He's looking good. He's big. He needs the experience. If he's playing around us alongside Licha, Yoro, Mazraoui, all these top defenders, the ligt or whatever, it's going to energize him. It's going to boost him. It's going to elevate his game. You see. We're always like, oh, he's a youngster. Kobe Manu. If Kobe Manu was 17, and still playing the way he was, we would be still having this struggle of trying to bring him in, which is very strange. Because when you look at other clubs, other teams, there's a youngster in there. There's a youngster that's dominating. You look at Musiala when he was at Bayern Munich. He was the only baby in there with men. With men. Why don't we do the same? So yeah, Manchester United, we do pride ourselves in academy, but at the same time, we don't give these kids opportunity. We don't say, okay, listen, go in there. Because I really think Henry Amas is the next best thing for next to Luke Shaw. Honestly, I know it's a big statement, and I know because he's a kid, and I know I gave an excuse that no, the goal Henry Amas is a kid, but we are not bringing in the players that we need to fix there. We are struggling. Other teams, Real Madrid, here's a classic example. Real Madrid, they've got only 2 or 3 centre backs that are fit. Rudiger, Alaba, who's still coming back, and who's the other guy? Militao. Nacho is gone, and Carlo Ancelotti said Real Madrid is done with business. So they don't have a defender. But I know Real Madrid. Real Madrid will find a way. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to bring in a player. We don't have that flexibility that Real Madrid have. And if we don't, if I'm not mistaken, Tuanzebe is back, right? Tuanzebe. Remember Tuanzebe? He's back in the Premier League. I think he's back with Ipswich, or if I'm not mistaken, I don't know. But he's back. He was our defender. Injury prone, yes, but he was our defender. So honestly, I'm nervous. I don't know what this week is going to bring. I'm nervous about the news that's going to come out. I'm nervous. I'm really, 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 really nervous. I know I'm smiling. I know everything looks like it's all good, but now I'm properly nervous. Thank you everybody for listening to the Glory Rest podcast. It's your boy, Dom Benito, and I'm out. Peace.